eliminate all negativity, be a fan of the sport, and excite myself day in and day out, say whatever I have to say to get myself on that damn cardio at 5 a.m. We don't want to do that stuff, but I did it. Training at altitude, living in Denver, Colorado, anyone that knows about altitude training, it is hard. But I got my ass up and I stayed there, didn't travel as much. I was very focus driven. My girlfriend cooked every 99.9% of my meals. Thank you, baby. I really appreciate it. I had a great support system, and I found that I wasn't satisfied with how I looked, even though I won. And any champion should think like that. Every champion should never be satisfied with how they looked. I'm not going to be complacent. I hear everything on social media because I am very active and I get kind of bored when I'm doing that cardio. But, I started reminding myself, are you having fun with this stuff? You've won 5 times. Are you having fun? And I was like, I'm allowing people to take the fun away from this with this whole social media garbage. And I started realizing, you know what? I'm just going to be positive. I'm just going to have fun every day. I'm going to focus on everything. I want to smile more, and I'm just going to kick the living crap out of myself every freaking day, every rep, every set, every workout of the damn time. And I'm able to do that. So I plan on being the best I've ever been. I feel really good, and I'm having a very controlled aggression right now because I don't want to mess this one up.
Now, after the announcement was made in Pittsburgh that Kevin is coming back, this is especially for the top 5, top 6 guys last year. Listening to all the fans and the media outlets and all the talk that's been going on about Kevin coming back. How can he come back? He's 52 years old. Some media outlets predicted Kevin to win the whole show. Now, what does that do to guys like Dexter, Phil, Sean, Rami, and everybody when you train? Do you think about, damn, Kevin is coming back? Are you guys worried about a guy that competed in the 90s that hasn't been on stage in 13 years and decides to come back at 52 years when people say he's going to beat Phil, he's going to beat you guys? What does it do to you? What do you think? Is that on your mind at all? Or do you believe that there's no possible way Kevin can come back and mess with any of us?
I think Kevin's a great champion in his time. Only time will tell, and we get to see it tomorrow night and Friday, Saturday night, we'll be able to see what he looks like. I give him great respect for being able to make that commitment, because making a commitment just to do a bodybuilding show is one thing. Making a commitment to do the damn Olympia after that long of a layoff takes a lot of balls.
Did it worry you in any way that Kevin is coming back?
I was more concerned with not being satisfied with how I looked over the past couple of years. I've been more concerned about how I look. At the same time, it's hard for some people to get the mentality or understand my mindset because they're not living in this skin. If you've been champion for 5 years, and you're going to concern yourself and overly concern yourself with people, other people, you're distracting yourself from your whole.
And today, who do you think were the better bodybuilders?
I think, again, these guys nowadays, deserve and earn this position to be here as champions. So I'm not going to say they're better champions or we were better champions. I can only compare to the conditioning. I believe that the conditioning certainly has suffered from the last time that I competed and through the 90s. There's a reason why Steven Weinberg said, control your gut. There was a reason why, Arnold Schwarzenegger said it came out, we have to do something about this. And again, one of the guys said size doesn't matter. It's about shape, conditioning, and the beauty of the sport. And if size didn't matter, like Flex Will said, an elephant would be king of the jungle, but he's not. So I believe that we got to get back to what this sport was built on. It was certainly built on the beauty, aesthetics, pleasing physiques, and something that's pleasing to the eye, something that captures the human eye and make you want to be like that person. I saw Lee Haney. I was like, it was just beautiful the way that he moved on stage, the way that he posed. You can communicate through the pose, and if you have the proper physique to do that. And I think this is what we're lacking today in this sport. And this is one of the reasons, and I saw an opportunity to come back, and I saw something that was so much a part of who I was that was missing. And that's one of the reasons why I want to come back on stage. So Robin allowed me to come back on stage to present this package of what we had back then to compare it to what we have now. Not saying that Phil is not a great champion, because he is, or any of these guys aren't great champions, because they all are. Dexter came from that era, you know, and I certainly know that, you know, Dexter's probably down a few pounds now than you were last year. I don't know if you were. I'm talking about rip conditioning. Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, it's about size, shape, and symmetry, and having a V-taper. That's what I believe.
Phil Heath, you need a sunken face to prove that you're in shape on stage?
I think we all have sunken faces, especially the day of the show. Yeah, especially compared to 2 months ago. We all were fat and happy, but you know, I think it's we all look like Krispy Kreme probably 3-4 months ago, but you know, you want them? But to answer the question, I mean, I definitely feel that it's a visual indication when we have our clothes on that this guy is serious. But there's going to be a lot of guys that have a sunken in face that do not win. It's going to be based on everything that everybody said: the size, the conditioning, the proportion, the separation with the muscle, the microstriations, like all this crazy detail that people are like, I didn't even know that. Like, what is that muscle on this anatomy chart? That does not exist. That type of conditioning. And that's what real bodybuilding really is to see something that you've never ever seen in a beautiful format. And, you know, all these guys have special body parts. It's going to be the person who has the least amount of flaws that wins.
Well, Phil, you've taken some heat over the last couple of years. A lot of the fans thinking you did not come at your best, that we haven't seen your best since 211 or 212. I know it's been a personal mission of yours this year to prove to yourself, if not your fan base, that you will see the best Phil Heath this year since 11 or 12. Your feelings on that?
I just can't wait. I just can't wait. That's it.
Is this your best since? Well, actually, let's go back to that. What is your best year in your opinion?
2011 was pretty freaking crazy. You know, really hard, really dry. 2012, you know, I came in a lot more dense, and you know, it was a different package. 2013, I thought it was kind of a combination. You know, it was a first round knockout at prejudgment. I walked in there, did my job, and left. You know, last couple of years just wasn't necessarily better than any of those years, but it was good enough to win. Anything that people will realize that in sport of bodybuilding, you can look at from Lee Haney to Dorian Yates to, you know, 8-time Michelin Olympian Ronnie Coleman, and even Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's going to be certain years that are more favorable to fans than other years. It's just the way it is. However, they did win. They found a way to win, and it was who they were standing next to at the same time. My job.
For this, you understand? So, no, seriously. I mean this.
Wait, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh, you guys know, seriously. You guys are laughing, ha, bullshit here. But I'm talking about the mother of my son. You understand? So I don't know what the fuck you're laughing at. No, seriously. You know,
That's a whole different deal.
I just want to say something to the mother of my child, who's been so good for me, who's been supporting my ass. You understand? Because of her, I'm doing this shit. You understand? So I want to thank her, and I made some mistakes, and I want to thank her. Sorry for that. And I really sacrifice you for this. I'm doing this for all of us to get a better life, you know? So once I'm done, I'm going to come and get you there. Believe me or not.
All right, William, that's what we want to hear. And for the record, William, they weren't laughing at that. They were laughing at your strange Brooklyn accent. So.
But I was, you know, so emotional to me, you know, because this is like since a year I've been like struggling as fuck, you know, because like we separated, and
That's nothing from Brooklyn.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, you can sit there and get tough, you know, until it happens to you. You know, then you're gonna see what life is, you understand? You know, having the chance to cannot see your son and that kind of shit, you know, then you're gonna see what's life. You know, this shit motivated me, you understand? So
all right, William, we'll let you get some carbohydrates. DJ, this guy's so important he gave him his own table. Brandon Curry.
Brandon, This is not your first Olympia. Now you listen to all this, and where does Brandon fit in? Qualified several times. You struggled a little bit in the past. This is not, everybody knows. You struggled a little bit with the condition. Knowing you're back to the Olympia, what changes have you made in order to change that?
Well, honestly, I'm just surprised I'm here. I don't know how I got here. It's a surprise. So,
Cesar said you did 20 shows. That's how you got here this year.
well, I compete. I love competing. I love bodybuilding. I love experimenting and trying to figure things out. So, I competed a lot. But I'm just happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I know Fred Small is supposed to be here. I'll keep
Let's go. Yes, that's numbers.
Numbers don't lie, right, guys?
No, man, I can sit here and promise everybody the world and sit here and, everybody can make the first call out. Everybody bigger, harder, stronger, faster than they were last year. Whatever, man.
Hey, man.
It's just.
We got all these daddy jokes.
You know how I am, man. You like a daddy to me for real.
Lots of fatherhood here today, Pete.
But no, it's just, we can sit here and talk about it all day, but I'm just ready to get it on. Let's go.
See, that's what I get for being a leader with the young guys. I took him and Steve Kukuk on my wing. I'm not doing it no more.
Hey,
Too old guy.
hey, I appreciate everything. I'm just saying, it's just, numbers. Numbers don't lie. It is what it is.
All right.
You the best looking near 50-year-old man on the planet.
Hold on. You might got a better body, but I got a younger face.
Come on.
You are pretty.
Yeah. All right. Talking about pro day.
You got a bigger booty too, Dennis.
That's why I'm famous. Talking about another pro debut. A guy that opted out last year because he didn't think he was at that point to do some damage, but decided that he is this year. Here to, what is Justin here for? Justin Compton.
I'm actually set to show up 2 years in a row. So I qualified in 14 and 15. And, this show is obviously the biggest show on the planet. So when I come here, I don't want to feel like I'm here just to compete. I want to be very competitive. I want to pick and choose my shows wisely. And I wanted to wait. I was 25 when I qualified for the first time. I wanted to let my body mature. I wanted to learn a little bit more. So when I come here, I can make a statement. Apparently everyone is going to be in the top 5, but we'll see what happens come tomorrow. That I feel like I've done my homework. I feel like I've played strategy.
You gotta get your own jokes. Don't steal my jokes. You gotta get your own jokes.
What'd you say?
He says you gotta get your own material. He says, don't be stealing this material, or he's gonna kick your ass on stage tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
That's what I heard.
Hey, the skill doesn't mean anything, man. I know you're 30 pounds heavier, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Let me give you a tip, especially YouTube, because you guys have it's kind of a little like a, why don't we just give us a little preview and just, work it up right here in front of the fans, set somebody up in order to create a little bit of hype. We weren't afraid to do that back in the days. I don't know what's going on with you guys. You guys got the new suits all hot. It's so hot, you're not sweating. I'll take that stuff off and peel off on somebody.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Dallas. What was that? You want to challenge into a post on right now? What did you say? I didn't catch that.
We gonna post more.
There we go. That means he ain't ready yet.
Well, he's scared,
Still young. That probably
He's young, fantastic. Well, Justin, we've heard a lot of comparisons between you and the champ, Phil Heath, in your careers and in your physiques. Very similar physiques, similar structure, muscle bellies. Phil also opting out his first 2 years before taking that Olympia stage. So I think you're in good company there. But we keep hearing about this much wanted first call out. It's been 2 years. So clearly you're done waiting. You're here for business. Can we expect to see you in that first call?
Yeah, I'm totally expecting to be in the first call. I've done my homework, I'm here, I beat myself up, so I'm ready to kick some ass this week.
I like that, dude.
I've done my homework in school every day and still failed. But that don't mean that Justin will fail. Now the rookie right here, Akeem Williams, also probably one of the biggest guys on the stage this weekend. Akeem, if you're listening to all this right now, all these guys going back and forth with who's your daddy, I'm your daddy, I'm everybody's daddy. Okay, so tell us how you feel, man. Come on, what's going on?
First off, I'm just really excited and happy to be here. You know, it's always been a dream of mine. I remember when I was working as an undergrad counselor, I would actually sit at my computer and put 2 screens up so I could watch Olympia Press Conference and listen to my boss when she's walking around. So I would just click the screen back and forth just in case I got caught or something like that. So it's just surreal just sitting up here, you know, like I said, 2 years ago, I was pretty much in the audience looking at these guys up here, and just an amazing feeling to be up here.
Great to have you here on the Olympia stage, team. Great victory this year. You qualifying. I know you were working very hard this year to make those improvements, which you did. So congratulations, Pac-Man. Welcome back to the stage. Pat, last time we were here, you were anything but humble. You had a whole lot to say to these competitors here. It's been a couple of years since then. So. Is that attitude still there, or are you down a little bit more humble, or where are you at these days?
You know, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be back. I love the IFBB, and this little hiatus I had, for those of you who don't know, last time I was here was 2012. This little hiatus I had was completely unexpected. Last time I was sitting up here as a kid, and I thought, you know, I'm going to be on stage every year. I'm going to be one of the best bodybuilders in the world every year for the next 10 years. And things happen. Life happens. 2 kids, successful businesses, and all of a sudden you go, shit, it's been 4 years and I'm not on the Olympia stage. A lot of things happen, and this prep has been the most amazing thing for me. I'm so grateful, and I just want to say that I fucking love bodybuilding. I hope that a lot of you love bodybuilding, so because I have such a passion for it, and this training for this Olympia has renewed my passion, because, you know, when you have businesses and family, sometimes you lose clarity of purpose, right? You don't have a vision anymore. And be able to train for this Olympia and pay attention to the little details like I used to. And I was always so meticulous and working as hard as I possibly could. Really renewed a fire for me. And I hope that I can pass that passion on to any one of you, every one of you, and develop an appreciation for the sport of bodybuilding and what the IFBB allows us to do. So as far as my confidence, Bob, bringing something different, you know, like I started getting away from the physique that I liked.
You finally bring the legs up.
I started getting away from the physique that I liked and started trying to compete against other guys. So I'm trying to, you guys probably noticed a bit of a difference in the last show, and it's still always a work in progress, but it's going to be different. I'm trying to bring it back to something that I enjoy, I like looking at, rather than just trying to compete with big freaks, because you know, at the end of the day, you know what you look like. So I'm very happy with the way I look for this show. I'm very much looking forward to getting on stage and showing you guys what I bring.
All right, thank you, Pat. Pete, we got the man with the golden smile right down here. William Bonac. Now, William, I'm not here to ask you a question. I'm here to give you some advices. That wasn't the plural, yes. All right, listen, when you get a call out
Yes.
and you're next to Phil Heath,
Yes.
take your dreads and flip them back so it hits him. He really likes that.
I will. No offense, Phil.
Memory.
I love you, guy.
Like a bad nightmare, Phil. Coming back.
His are real though.
Is that the biggest diss here tonight?
That stuff would hurt.
And he's got a whole bunch of them.
He's got a ton of that stuff, man. Like, that would kill me. Do not do that. You will never see me again. Like, I get destroyed. Do it. No. So some people are like, yeah, do that, man. Hit him with the hair. No, I'm not doing that.
He's still the B10.
No, but real quick, William Bonac is definitely one of those guys that throughout his prep, I've actually looked at how he trains, how he goes about his business. This is a man that I watched actually in San Marino, actually lose to Josh, and to see how he handled himself in that defeat really inspired me, because he was able to say, you know what,
he deserved it. I'm just gonna come back better and see me in Vegas and I'm gonna do damage. And I was like, you know what? That's the type of attitude that you need to have to be a champion. Living every day, every rep, every set, every workout, every day to be a better version of yourself. So I'm glad that you're here, my man. You look great.
Thank you.
And
You are getting me emotional, brother.
There's no crying in bodybuilding.
It's just respect where respect is due. And this guy has an amazing physique. I hope he's able to, really bring it so you guys can watch it.
This is some small words from the champ himself.
I'm speechless though. Thank you very much for
William,
really motivates me, man. Really appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Okay, William, what is this going to do for you now, hearing from the champ how much he praises you, your physique, and your work ethic? What is that going to do? What is your mindset? You got 8th place last year, your first Olympia. You ended up in the top 8. This is something that a lot of people wasn't able to do. I wasn't able to do that in my first Olympia. Now hearing this from Phil, what does that do to you?
This is like Phil's been like like my idol, just like Dexter.
Like your father.
No. I think Phil is 4 years older than me, 5 years, so he can be my father. So, but first of all, let me say this, because since this is my only chance, I can say something. I want to thank my sponsors. First of all, God for guiding me. I want to thank my coach, Neil Hill. I want to thank all my friends, all the supporters, everyone here in the African Federation, my friend Dennis Wolf over here. I want to thank all you guys for supporting me, for pushing me, and I just want to say one thing also. I want to say this to my girlfriend, or my ex-girlfriend. I'm serious,